I don't even remember what the hell I was gonna say. Uh, um, I don't. I don't. And this is even part of me trying to do something for the show. I'm seriously lost as fuck right now.
Advertising?
No wait. I know what I was trying to do. You tried to start shit before I was ready. That's what happened, and then I got lost, and now we're doing the show, and that means it's time to say thanks to our sponsors, Grow Generation, for sponsoring this episode. More on them a little bit later in the episode. Episode too much. More on them a little bit later in the fucking podcast. There. I'm gonna have to redo that one. Probably.
Why? It's adorable, and like I'm learning SEO and stuff in my class, and you want to use it more than sounds normal, but not so much that it's like completely like, what the fuck is this, an ad?
Yeah. Well, no. The word episode. I said it.
No, exactly. You want to say,
bro.
If you're doing SEO, search engine optimize, and your tag was episode, you'd say it an extra time or two. You'd be like, you would say episode twice in like 3 sentences.
You want the Google voice bot thing to pick up that you're saying the word episode, since that's in your,
or just like a Google search as a tag word.
That. Yeah, but it's a fickle thing because almost no point in some of that anymore. It's really great that we have the website to back us up. Oh God, guys. Good morning. Sorry about yesterday. Shit happens. It sucks when your kid and your morning don't synchronize. But we're here today on this wonderful Wednesday with Nick.
Wild Card Wednesday, and I'm the wild card, bitches.
How do you know?
This is Nick.
How do you know I don't have a plan?
Well, I thought Wild Card Wednesday was part of the...
Sometimes.
A little bit of new comic Wednesday, a little bit of Wild Card.
Well, last week was comics. This week is whatever the fuck I say.
All right, I'm down.
No. Check it out. I do have to talk about Ghostbusters a little bit.
All right,
though.
I'm down with that topic, yo. Not that I have a choice.
No. But
this is video too, right?
Yeah, and
so they can see that you're like the Brad Pitt of podcasting. You're always eating.
Anyway, Hayes. Bill Murray recently did an interview and had some comments. All right. Now the thing about Bill Murray, a lot of people think that he's very, very like candid. Doesn't hold back. Will say what is on his mind, and oftentimes he will. But also, so very, very often before a movie he comes out in, regardless of his feelings on it, he doesn't usually say a lot until after it's come out. So that way he can at least, try to make some money off of it. I'm guessing, especially when he was
just like brand trust with like the last Ghostbusters. Bill Murray doesn't care if the movie makes money or not in the last Ghostbusters. He just doesn't want to be yelled at by the studio.
And that's
the director.
And that's kind of what I'm gonna get.
Fans, Bill Murray doesn't give a shit about, because Bill Murray is so fucking cool. He doesn't like.
Well, he actually is a fairly decent guy.
He's super nice.
Yeah, he hangs out. Do you know one of his favorite places to hang out at in
crashes weddings all the time, doesn't he?
That much. I don't know. I think I've heard something like that similar, but I've seen him in Charleston. I was waiting for a Newfound Glory show. I think where I got this shirt's from the 20th anniversary, but I was in Charleston for a show in 10 or 11, I think. And no, wait, I was deployed then, so it was after. Yeah, because it was in the States, so it had to been like 13, 14, something like that. Anyways, I saw him while I was waiting to go in to the show, and just walking down.
NFG, yo.
Yeah. What about him?
I'm just saying that's what all of us fans call them.
Oh.
NFG, right? We're big fans.
I guess, yeah. that's usually how it goes. But anyways, he's got all these nice things to say. With Collider it was, and he says that the show or this upcoming movie is feels like the first one more than the second one or the girls one, as he puts it. It has a different feel than 2 out of 4. So right there is a little bit of double speak. It's
that's the same article, right, where he says they were kind of tricked, like they were sold on Ghostbusters 2 and it wasn't what they were sold on.
He was sold on Ghostbusters 2 a certain way, but you got to remember that Ramis and Aykroyd, they still got the writing credits, regardless of if the studio came in and was like, hey,
Aykroyd's version
this. Was
always insane, and it was great that the Ivan Reitman would take it down a notch, because the original Ghostbusters was like what, in hell or something?
No, they were going to be set in the future,
or in space.
There was going to be like alien ghosts and stuff.
It was. I thought it was set in space too, right? Not just the future, but
not.
And it's like, what the fuck are you trying to do in the 1980s?
But yeah.
It's like, did you come up with the good ideas of what Ghostbusters became, but then was like, Star Wars is popular. Let's throw that into the mix and do Ghostbusters meet Star Wars.
Nice.
But then they didn't, because that would have been terrible.
He says nice things about it, and he calls it similar to the first, and he's like, but it's very different from 2 out of the 4. So he's trying to connect and either he legitimately feels this way, or Sony is like, get out there. You're the guy. If you get behind this, people will. And I'm.
So he could be James Cameroning it, like when they did the last Terminator movie, and he was supposed to skip all of them after like 2. This is like, skip all those movies except for the first one.
I guess.
Like, this is the second Ghostbusters.
I don't.
Bill Murray says so, but the thing is, like, I don't think Bill Murray gives a big enough of a shit to not say something negative about this movie if he hated it, right? But I also feel he's very apathetic. And since he's not like a super fan like us, his expectations aren't high. He's like, okay, I performed in that movie. I giggled 3 times when I watched it at the screening. I don't have to ever see it again. I'm not a fan. That was my work, not something I'm a fan of,
But he's
not
always
a Ghostbusters fanboy. He's the guy.
Right. But ever since he got on the like indie kick, he became a lot more selective. He had that time where he was doing some questionable bits, and that, there's lots of people in Hollywood that have admitted to taking a paycheck. The guy that did Dragon Ball Evolution admitted that, I didn't know jack shit. I got paid. Sorry guys, I realized that was wrong, but it could be. My point is that all of the originals that were able to speak,
actors, sorry.
Yeah. Spoke highly, very, very, very highly of 2016 prior to it coming out. And then even Aykroyd, after the studio basically wrote it off, Aykroyd comes out after the fact and is kind of like, yeah, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. The girls were good. The girls were good, but the movie this, and it's.
He was lying to impress fans. Aykroyd likes anything Ghostbusters related that he can possibly produce. Aykroyd is so obsessed with
there's no way to trust anything positive or negative about being said by anyone other than yourself once you see it, right?
I like the first trailer, but not because it looks like a Ghostbusters film. The first trailer, it looks like it's kind of post-Ghost, kind of a little like postmodern Ghostbusters, where it's like, okay, we're in the future. No one gives a shit. Paul Rudd's a super fan in that meta kind of sense, where he's like, a lot of other franchises have tried that too with delayed sequels, like Independence Day Resurgence. It's like, I'm such a fan of that. No, that movie's terrible, but that's kind of, and they're kind of trying to pull the same thing, but if you pull it out right, you pull it out right. But just like, he's a super fan. They're Mike from Stranger Things is like, what's his face's grandson, Egon's, right? Yeah, and they find the equipment, and the well is actually in his hometown is tied to
Jandor.
Yep, the line the stuff, and then you got to imagine in my head already. That's not Egon's hometown. Once the Ghostbusters broke up, he moved there because he knew that was the fucking source. That's already a plot point in my head. That's why the kids move home and are like, weird shit's happening, is that Egon knew that was happening, but died before he could solve it. And this is after, they were always on tenuous ground where it's like second movie opens and they're fucking performers. So it's like, of course they broke up. So he went home looking at the ultimate source and died of old age.
I can say with 100% certainty that is never been in Danny or was in Harold's mind as a story point, because by Harold and Danny's admission, and of course Sony doesn't agree to this at all. This is Ghostbusters 3, but for Harold and Danny, Ghostbusters the video game 2009 is Ghostbusters 3. That was canon, written by them, voice acted by everyone that all the original four guys plus Annie Potts as Janine, and it told a really good story, and all the guys are there, and they're actually doing what Peter talks about in the first movie, which is the franchise. The franchise rights alone, Ray, won't make us rich beyond our wildest dreams, I think is the line. And that game is great. It tells a decent Ghostbusters story. It fits in with Shandor and all of that, and Gozer and so those plot points, you're right on that. Egon and them would definitely he would have definitely tracked down anything related to Shandor after the Stay Puft event.
and then Bill Murray would want to stay with Sigourney Weaver or whatever. And then Dan Aykroyd would just be Ernie Hudson would just be kind of fucked.
It's I like the Ghostbusters fan groups that I belong to. One's more of like a props and cosplay group, and one is more like general fandom. And they're awesome. And but that I don't know, man. I feel like some people they're too excited for this because it's got the old guys in it. And
so did the last one.
Well, no, this is like actually the Ghostbusters in it, though.
Yes. Ghostbusters. And didn't he also confirm he's wearing the proton pack in the film?
Yes, they are. Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Which is
it'll be a small moment, I guarantee.
That isn't sad. He talks about the that there was lots of getting up and down with the thing on his back. That the effects in this one, the new one, are practical, or at least somewhat, because he
Well, as
goes, there's a
practical as
lot
they
of
can
wind,
be,
and
because
yes,
they weren't practical in the
no.
first place. They were in-camera effects.
but a lot of wind and dirt in your face instead of digital dirt, for example. Which of course you can always add additional, but he talks about it. Probably is only once, just like the other two Who films. We'll probably only see the old guys bust one ghost.
Yeah, no,
and
maybe be back up at the finale,
back up,
whatever it is,
whatever. But the whole thing is you can't trust what these guys are going to say before it comes out. There's all sorts of things that can be put in contracts, and I guarantee you guys this. I'll Sony, if you're listening and you can somehow prove me wrong, do it, please. But I fucking guarantee in these contracts for everyone involved in this film is a don't say, do, release anything for like 60 days after the film is released. It's yeah. Everyone's super hyped, but Nick, you said it earlier, because I've said it. This could be a good movie, but it does not look like it's going to be a Ghostbusters movie.
It's a new take on the franchise. It's not something that feels familiar. Say it
it's
like
a new
that.
take on the genre.
Yeah, no, it's a new take on the franchise. Like, you know how like franchises can evolve. This isn't quite the same, but like, let's look. My favorite comparison is there are so many thrillers or horror movies that have turned into action movies in the second movie. Like Mission Impossible, that's a thriller turned into an action movie. No, Alien, that's a horror movie turned into an action movie with the sequel.
Aliens is definitely an action movie, yes.
And Jurassic Park. It's more like that's a thriller. The sequels are mostly action movies, but especially Jurassic World franchise is an action movie. So
that second one,
this is kind of
add that element of fear back to the franchise. With,
and they do, and they bounce
Kingdom.
around. I actually saw, I think Kevin Smith worded it best just today on Twitter. I'd always considered the Alien franchise, like horror, action, horror. Who cares? The originals. Kevin Smith broke it down like this. I believe it was Kevin Smith. Someone asked him, like, is Alien a horror movie? He was like, Alien horror movie. Aliens action movie.
Yes.
Alien 3 art house movie. Alien 4 Aliens version of yoga hosers. And I was like, that makes sense to me.
hey, Resurrection is garbage. And
it was written by Joss Whedon.
So was Covenant.
so
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, but Joss.
The only reason I watched it is that I own the
Buffy,
quadrilogy.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess I'm watching Alien Resurrection now.
I won't even put my wife
because
that.
I like Alien 3. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Ghostbusters is taking, like, this is closer to a Super 8 failure version of this Stranger Things E.T. version of Ghostbusters than
Which
it will be the Ghostbusters that you're used to. No, but it's still the franchise. I feel
really.
Well, Bill Murray seems to be implying this is more franchise-like.
Can't trust him.
Than the sequel, which was like the original, but kind of like also The Hangover 2, where it's like Ghostbusters 2 is so throwaway because it is the first movie again. And then the women version, I enjoy it, but like everyone agrees, let's pretend that never existed also.
Answer the call is
that's what your abbreviation was, because they call it in some
that
version.
Is Sony's official. It is Ghostbusters.
Only on the home release. It wasn't that at movie theaters. I guarantee that.
But yes, I agree. I agree with that.
Back then they were like Ghostbusters 2016. Is what we called it.
Differentiated it themselves because of their desire to put distance between it and because you got to remember at the time they were making that, they spun up Ghost. What Ghost World or Ghost World Productions or
No,
Ghost
yeah, Bill.
something
It's basically Dan
Productions.
Aykroyd's company.
Right, but
Because he was also going to do an animated film at the same time,
exactly,
and like,
and
yep,
all sorts and a series and all this stuff and
a universe the size of Marvel is
right.
what they were looking at, and it's like not all franchises do that. They were at that point. They were like, we want to do this
Yep.
and this and this, and it's like, no. There's a difference between a franchise and a universe.
Yeah.
And I want to see a franchise.
Yeah. And they it's just like I said it's a take on the genre of horror comedy, which Ghostbusters is a interesting take on that because it did a blue collar horror comedy is what it did,
and now it's
now it's Stranger Things.
Look at like it's the only thing that's come close to that is Shaun of the Dead, as far as like
what horror comedy.
The whole, even the idea of like the main character just being like a blue collar worker who's like, fuck off, like the world's ending, I'm off on my own.
I thought you were talking like horror comedy in general. I was
about
I think
to
bring up an IMDb page, but yeah.
But
I got what you're saying
Ghostbusters inspired a lot of movies.
I mean, it's not like
not all of them are that good, but Ghostbusters is the ridge.
It's not like I'm a giant Ghostbusters fan or anything that would
not at all.
Ever get it like
look at the background, permanently forget about
permanently
it.
etched on my skin or anything. I'm not. Not that way at all. But
what is that behind you? Is it like a trap?
Yeah, that's a trap.
Huh. From what franchise?
From Ghostbusters.
Oh, you are not at all a fan.
Not at all. But it's not. You can label it what it is, but you long time ago even said, the problem is Sony wants to catch lightning in a bottle twice, and you can't do that. And I agree.
They're investing in the wrong parts of the bottle is also what I said.
Yep, and that's what this comes down to. This cannot in any way, just like the second one, barely manages to hold enough of that worker level 9 to 5 grind feel to it. It just barely has enough of it with them. The way it starts out with them in their regular jobs, doing the party stuff, working at the bookstore, the shoddy TV thing, and then getting back into the biz and all of that. But it's so much more kid friendly because of the cartoon and the opportunity to sell toys and whatnot.
Well, I mean, like, technically, it was more. Ghostbusters was never be rated R, but they didn't have PG-13 back then, and they were like PG, even with the sex. We've discussed it. I've discussed it on this podcast with you. It's like, that is PG, and this one is PG-13. If you cut that one joke, Ghostbusters is not even PG-13.
Probably not at all. You could probably even get away with the yes, it's true, Your Honor. This man has no dick. That you could probably get away with Nicholas. PG, and this man has no dick in PG. Probably you might only be able to get
those are the only
once.
2 scenes you need to lose. Yeah,
he might only be able to get away with one penis joke, but
everyone just needs one.
Without that, I just don't see how you get that comedy with kids. And it's obvious what Sony was doing. It was obvious when they fucking cast Finn Wolfhard what they were doing. And then when
Stranger Things and it as a child?
Exactly.
And he even played a Ghostbusters in Stranger Things Season 2?
So that brings me up to the kids in this film, and that is something that Bill said about the equipment. As an older man, I could see this definitely bothering him, but they complained about the equipment in the both of the original movies. He even makes a joke in the second film. I always hated this part of the job because it's a meta joke because he actually hated the weight of the props because they had heavier batteries back then. They didn't have real good efficient small lithium ion battery that weighs a half pound today could power those proton packs. Yes, they power all the lights, and it's what the guys in the
makes
Facebook
the noise too.
use.
No, you would do the noise in post production.
Yeah,
like Ben Burt type shit. Yeah.
What I'm saying,
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, but like all the onboard
yeah.
lights and sounds that people use for like cosplay, their packs are super light compared to what they had in the films.
Exactly.
And they got speakers built in, so you can have full sound and whatnot. And even then, it's still lighter because technology's better. But you set it in universe that the packs are heavy, that the packs are not easy things to deal with. You show that the wrangling of ghosts takes effort. You know it's not easy. And you can say Egon and does enhance the packs some.
That's what I was gonna say.
Everything that we see in the movie looks very old, not
in the trailer.
touched.
We don't know what it looks like in the movie.
Right. In the
you might have like a secret basement of like kid-sized equipment.
Oh my god.
That would drive Kyle wild and make him quit watching it.
Yeah. If he made,
that's a possibility.
I swear to God, Sony, on my fucking life, you have Egon design fucking kids
to my grandchild,
and I will spend the rest of my life doing everything I can to I don't know put one highly negative snapshot from your giant email leak or something on the internet, just to remind people what terrible garbage that there is at so yeah, you do it. Those emails are coming back.
Speaking of that leak, it'd be even better than
what's that?
Men in Black meets 21 Jump Street.
Oh, Ghostbusters and Men in Black.
21 Jump Street meets Ghostbusters.
God, that's what Ghostbusters.
That's kind of what they almost did, actually, right?
Yes.
When it was under the hands of like Apatow
Rogan or whatever,
like Michael Cera, Jonah Hill, but it was going to be a handoff.
I wouldn't have liked
movie
those
where you
actors
had
either.
Kind of like this one's going to be, I think, where you had the original Ghostbusters and the newbies who were like, "I'm Jonah Hill, my jokes are about pussy," and I'm Michael Cera, and my jokes are about pussy, and I'm another Apatow actor, my jokes are about pussy,
and
that was my Seth Rogen.
Yeah, so you forgot the weed part. And that's why I was against
pussy and weed. Weed's almost PG-13, man.
I'm gonna have to edit like at least 2 of those out so we can keep some money for our ads. So that's at like
wait. There's a language barrier.
Oh yeah, man. I gotta set limits to make sure we gets paid, dude. And speaking of getting paid,
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, product systems, and more. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
And thank you guys so much for sponsoring the show. Nick, the kids thing, the weight thing, it's all gonna, like you said, have to wait until we see the movie. But Sony, I swear to God, that just won't work. Making proton packs
sometimes
won't work.
With the franchise, you come to a point where like we can't recapture that.
So you
know what I mean? They would love to, but you can't just have old Ghostbusters, just like you can't have an old team of Luke, Leia, and Han still working together all those years later. It doesn't feel natural. It seems like a film coincidence. I love Indiana Jones, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as an idiot. And that's about what these movies are. But it's like, that's why people hate it more than these other movies. Is they're like, why is he doing the exact same thing 40 years later? Like, Like, and he survives like a fridge thing, which is so much more ridiculous than surviving God and stuff. And the aliens are so much more ridiculous than God. It's just, yeah. You either do it the same and people are like, it doesn't work anymore, or you try a new direction, and that works more often, I feel.
Really? Because
not for every franchise, but I think kind of like rebooting a franchise in a different way works better. Like Jurassic World is rebooting Jurassic Park, and it's like, but here's the big glossy blockbuster version, even bigger than they could do in 1993. Like, here's like new dinosaurs that didn't exist. We're going full sci-fi. Like, I feel like
Jurassic World was 100% Jurassic Park, just bigger, like you said. They didn't innovate, change anything.
Yeah, exactly.
They kept it all. But you just said that they changed it.
No, but they changed it in a way where it's like.
But it's the same thing. They kept it
with
two kids.
It loses the heart.
Adults.
It becomes bigger to fit the. It becomes bigger to fit the decade, and it loses the heart of the original, which I feel like is the case with most of these delayed sequels. Die Hard, Indiana Jones, like I said.
Ask you,
like,
name one that
feels like it, but it's not the same.
And there you go. So name, and we just did one. Jurassic World is definitely successful, and it replicated. And then we could point to something else that was wildly successful that replicated almost shot for shot in some points. Episode 7, Force Awakens over at Star Wars. But now name more of these delayed or soft reboots outside of horror that are successful.
That's what I'm saying. Most of them are not.
You just
Dumb and Dumber
said
2.
the opposite. You just
Jane
said
Silent Bob
the ones
Strikes
that
Back.
change are more successful. And I'm saying
no, but
the
it
ones
works,
that stay the same
sometimes.
are the most successful.
It works sometimes. Casino Royale.
Saying I
absolutely. Star Trek, absolutely. Like, it's
Star
not the
Trek's
majority, but there are a
reboot,
few.
Though. The Kelvin timeline's a complete new timeline, and
no, but that's a whole new thing. It's a sequel reboot, which is exciting.
It's a bit different.
In fact,
of its own thing.
It's what you would call the original soft reboot. But yeah, it's a sequel.
They managed to do it within
anything. Yep. It's a reboot, and the reason they invented that was they were like, we don't want people to know these characters don't die. Yeah, like, we could kill off Chekhov. Which actually now they have to do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't. I was trying to think of a different character.
You could always recast. I
spent because he's the only actor who's actually died.
It always bugs me on how Hollywood, like, well, what's the barometer for recasting a character? You know, some characters are like, this character's too important to let die, and then there's other characters you're like, well, what about that one?
It depends on the franchise.
Other excuse and whatever. But
like, you would never recast Egon. Ever. It depends on the franchise. No, not even
he was
a young version.
Recast for the cartoon.
Yeah, but the cartoon is different than live action sequels.
You can
cartoon's
say that, but
easy.
Again, the cartoon.
And it's canon. The real actor in the video game, right?
Yeah.
So that's more authentic than I remember the animated TV show. I have a few action figures from it. It's not the same as the game or the movies.
No, it's not. And I've brought that up lots of times comparing it to Ninja Turtles. How the first Ninja Turtles film was darker and more grown up, and
Sam Rockwell was in it.
Yep, he sure was. Do you want menthol or regulars?
That's his line. Is the smoking line?
Yeah, he's talking to some new initiates, and he's like telling them about all the cool stuff inside the Foot Clan hideout where all the teens are at. and all the
There's
shit they stole.
arcade games and cigarettes. I remember that.
And
It's like
he's
just play your arcade
one
games.
of the guys
you got skateboards to
like,
fight on.
He's like, you got any cigarettes?
Yeah.
He's like, regular or menthol? Sam
Hell
Rockwell.
yeah. What
So
a great movie.
you got that movie's darker. The cartoon's really popular. Toy line's really popular.
The comics the darkest.
Make the second movie more kid friendly, because now we can make more money off the merchandise.
Secret of the
part.
Ooze, is that the second?
Yes.
Legend of the Ooze, Secret of the Ooze. Okay.
And the kids ate it up. The comic book fans, the older, teenagers, young adults that enjoyed the first movie, didn't like the second one as much. And that's
Wait, it was liked by comic book fans? It seems so different. Like it's so even the movies are family friendly. The comic book is not family friendly.
Issue 1?
Have
you read the initial run of
No, I've just heard the reputation of the intros. I've seen all these movies. I've only heard the reputation.
Trust me. The first movie is pretty.
But it's PG, isn't it?
Trust me, Nick. It's pretty close.
Okay.
The comics.
I liked it. I loved it as a kid. I can't remember now. I loved it as a kid.
Yeah, these comics are not. The comics were not like these gore-filled.
No. I'm not saying they were R-rated comics.
No,
I thought they're more like PG-13, like
that movie would be
katanas and slicing off some Foot Clan heads.
And Shredder dies in the end, and in the original
he becomes
movie,
Super Shredder in the movies.
Well, he wasn't intended to come back. They were going to.
No, but it's so cool when he's Super Shredder in the movies. That's one of the main memories as a child, where I was like, "Fucking Super Shredder! Is that a fucking thing?"
And that's the key thing, Nick, is as a kid, and that's what I'm getting at for Ghostbusters 2. The adults that loved the original Ghostbusters for the adultness of it, the adult comedy, that blue collar stuff, that was what was missing from Ghostbusters 2. What was still there was what all of us kids liked that saw the first movie, which was the bright flashy lights, ghosts,
the slime,
things that
creepy painting of a old dude.
And so the cartoon hits. Thank you, J. Michael Straczynski, for all the great writing you did on that, as well as everything else you do just about. And they take the second movie in that more kid friendly direction, and you have adults, again, the original fans, the ones that were able to grasp, old enough to grasp the whole movie the first time seeing it when it came out. And then you have the kids fans by cartoon and the second movie. This doesn't fit on that barometer, or that meter, that spectrum, whatever word we want to use, anywhere. This new one, just like the last one, tried to match the first one by doing the whole workers thing, but Feig, his whole idea of we're just gonna film eight hours of ad lib, that doesn't work. Obvious.
Not for a comedy with an action budget, absolutely not. For something like Superbad, or This Is the End, where you have a comedy budget, shoot as much stupid jokes as you want and cut to get better the rest. When you have a action movie budget, you not waste time with alt jokes.
Yeah, and not just the budget, which definitely, if he could have kept that budget down another 30-40 million, the movie would have at least broke even then, and then this one coming out, though, it's just, I can't explain how much I want it to be good. Like, I'm not hating on the film. I'm waiting. I'm saying that temper the expectations with Bill Murray saying, we put on the packs, and I like this movie, because it doesn't mean anything until we see it on screen, right, Nick?
Yeah, like you said, just temper your expectations. Don't get excited. And I'm gonna, like, this is how I work out when I watch movies. I'm just so relaxed about most franchises. Like, you really have to fuck it up for me to hate you. And that's DC's problem, is DC makes me hate them most of the time. But like, I'll watch Jurassic World, whatever the last one was called, and I'll be like, that was cheesy as shit, but I liked it. And then I watch like a DC movie like Justice League or even the new Justice League, and I'm like, it's fine. This franchise could end tomorrow and I don't care. You know? It just...
I tweeted out yesterday.
I'm easy loving.
You're Kevin Smith. Well, no, actually, I think you love more things than he does.
I've never seen Kevin Smith dislike anything, and I dislike some things.
He says he will only watch. He will only watch the things that he likes. He won't watch things that.
Well, no, that's trying to be my philosophy, except for the podcast. If I'm not like gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this movie and I might hate it. Like, I'm going to movies that I hope that I like. You know, the podcast changes that, where it's like, Nick, you have to watch Hobbs and Shaw. And it's like, fuck, I'm gonna hate Hobbs and Shaw. But I did have to watch it, and I hated it, and I couldn't leave because I hated it.
I had to put this out. Somebody did one of these, let's cause drama, lose 3 of these forever. It's like, bye, and then
wait, where are the options?
You can't see it.
No, I can see a smaller version.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, my
Star Wars.
I can see it. Okay, I answered this today too.
Yeah.
So what did you choose?
But Bond, Furious, and Avatar.
Bye. Here's mine. You didn't select Indiana Jones, and I love that. Here's mine. Yeah. I did this today too. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Avatar.
Go fuck yourself, Nick.
I don't even. Fast and Furious, I could dump 2, but Avatar and the other 2 are worse for me. I just don't. I used to love Lord of the Rings when I was a high school kid. I didn't like the Hobbit movies. I think I saw 3 of them, unlike Harry Potter. I definitely don't like Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Avatar is one movie, and I fucking hate it. And I wish I didn't spend money on it or spend time on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Fast and Furious. I've seen Fast 5. It was great. 2 Fast and Furious. It was terrible. And Hobbs and Shaw, which was pretty terrible.
Yeah,
so I would dump it also as like a bonus dump.
There's only three must keeps on here: Star Wars, Marvel, and Back to the Future.
Wow, you wouldn't keep Jurassic Park even? I'm talking about the first one. No, carries the franchise.
All 3.
You wouldn't keep DC either.
All 3 good. All 3 good. 1 out of the original 3 good. Almost all good.
Yeah, no, obviously I agree with your selections.
Can't get rid of the
I agree with your selections, but I don't like that you had killed other ones, because you only lose 3, you don't.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, so which is Jurassic Park, one of the best movies of all. I don't care if the rest of them were all garbage.
Yes,
Jurassic Park by itself ranks bigger than most of these franchises.
It's my number 1 Spielberg film.
Yeah. Even if it isn't, like,
so
it's actually my number 3, sometimes 4 Spielberg film.
Oh, I'm not bringing up the LRM
Raiders
video, but
Jaws. Yeah. But things always bounce around. You know what I mean.
So we'll see what happens with Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Happens with any of these fucking sequels.
Horror's been like the only place that the soft reboot things and the universe things have been
Which one?
Successful more often in horror stuff like Halloween,
absolutely,
and Halloween, and then
all of those.
The new Halloween.
Yeah, there's a whole trilogy of new Halloweens that they announced after the first film. It's like Halloween kills, Halloween dies, or some shit like that.
Joking on that, Rob Zombie's movie was also Halloween, and then
Halloween too.
And then he had Halloween
both.
too.
He did both.
And then
again.
Well, the second uh the second reboot, this new one, he ignores everything except for Carpenter's
It's like we were talking about earlier.
And it
like Terminator and shit,
right.
where it's like, fuck that.
But
one.
naming
this is what's happening next. And the last one did that, and it was very successful.
Right, but I was just talking about the fact that there's now 3 movies called Halloween. Just
Why you put
Halloween.
The year next to it?
That's dumb though. It's
that's what I do when we write for LRM. It's like Spider-Man 2002.
Yes,
even though there had been other names like Amazing and
I would just
shit, but I still put 2002 on so they know it's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
I think if you put Spider-Man in just bold, everyone will assume Raimi, and if you put
but that's the
Amazing
thing,
Spider-Man,
I'm getting older. You're getting even older. A lot of kids don't remember the original Spider-Man at this point. They're like, their first Spider-Man was the current one.
So what you're saying is that the right thing to do is to make differentiating titles, so people won't get
but
confused.
just I don't think most people are smart enough to understand that.
They didn't make any. They called it Halloween. That's not different from Halloween at all.
Wait, what? Oh no, I was talking about Spider-Man. I'm talking about Halloween. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of video game franchises, TV franchises, and movie franchises where it's like, just use your original. Okay, here's one of the earliest, even though they could say which is little bit of a difference. Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
The Fast and the Furious is
that's different than Fast and Furious. The makes all the difference. The Suicide Squad, the Batman.
I told you guys,
DCEU.
I told you guys on Los Fanboys 2-3 years ago. I said, do you guys think all the future DC movies are going to have "the" in front of them? And you and Gemma were like, no, that won't happen.
I think that's how you differentiate it. I think you make it the DC Extended Universe, TDECU, where it's like the Batman.
It's
the Aquaman 2, the Wonder Woman 3.
No,
the Black Adam.
No whole numerical sequels any more people.
The Justice League.
The Justice League of whatever. Justice. They can't do Society, and they won't do like a Justice League of America or anything like that. It'll just be Justice League.
If they keep making money, they're getting more creative. People are like, why aren't you doing normal characters? And they're like, because we're like Marvel now. We like doing like a little bit of an offshoot.
They did the Society on TV, but I don't know.
TV stuff's unrelated and it's sad.
No, it's all connected.
Well, yeah, it's all a multiverse, but they've never shared an actual actor more than a cameo.
Right.
Like, I want John Constantine from Network to become HBO Max.
We know
television
your love affair with
streaming service Constantine. But like, that's not. They're not doing that. Like, they'll have a cameo with the movie's Flash showing up on and they'll like, Kevin Conroy and stuff, but they won't commit fully to it.
No,
they have different Flashes. They have different.
It's just like they're I don't know why I keep using my left arm today. God, it's just like Sony, Warner Brothers doesn't get it, man. They don't.
Agreed. The two are comparable.
And it used to be Fox as the third, but
now Fox is just kind of. I'll be honest. Fox kind of disappeared. It's not like we hear from 20th Century Pictures. Disney releases trailers for them, but we never hear news from that studio.
No, not at
They're just
all.
being kind of stored away as they release movies like Free Guy and stuff.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, I was severely saddened and disappointed with is that Disney didn't reinstate the 20th Century fanfare in front of the Star Wars movies.
I know.
With something. You didn't have to put the 20th Century logo with it, but the fanfare, man.
Just call it
20th.
No, they should put it back on with the 20th Century logo, not 20th Century Fox, but 20th Century.
No, they don't want
now the same timing
on there, but yeah,
and it'd be beautiful. We all want that.
We do. We want the
and they know we want it. It's like, okay, slightly off topic. There's a brand new hashtag everyone should use. It's not terrible. Like, release the Snyder Cut or continue the Snyderverse. Or one I don't understand is continue the Monsterverse. Yeah. And it's like, you don't need a hashtag for that. They're making a sequel. That movie made money. Don't start a hashtag.
They said, I don't remember.
It's the highest grossing movie by far during a pandemic.
My damn camera just got kicked by the...
I see you perfectly fine.
What I was saying is, I think it was a writer or director, producer, someone involved with it, and the reason why that actually, and you're right, the studio now has perked up their ears. But
you don't need a reason for the hashtag. Right. That sequel is happening because it made money.
What I'm trying to say is, before that happened, the reason why that hashtag came out is somebody involved with the movie,
Adam Wingard,
came out and said that there's no plans because there's no story, and that there needed to be a story.
I agree with that.
That's part of why it started.
This already?
Maybe on your show with some.
No, we definitely discussed it on my show. I just don't see where you go. Like, Godzilla versus Kong is the and top he's already of that beat franchise.
The other Titans. So
yeah, but he fought so I watched Godzilla King of the Monsters the same week as Godzilla versus Kong because I've never seen it. He defeats 7 of them from continuity in one movie, and you're like, they just wasted 7 characters they could have fought in favor of Ghidorah.
Yes.
So that's why I wish they were doing what the Pacific Rim people wanted and combining it with the Pacific Rim franchise. But slight spoilers for Godzilla versus Kong. That movie does already do Pacific Rim
better,
and why it failed in the movie. There's a guy who's I'm gonna, fight Godzilla, and his mind is taken over by a skull, which is why in Pacific Rim they have 2 drivers, so they can't be corrupted. So they already did Pacific Rim, but I do want to say there's one main Twitter thing that's big in our lives right now, and I hope that everyone who's a fan of any of our content will tweet it. I mean, this is super important to me, like life or death, I would say. It's important to a lot of people. It's just hashtag.
They already released it.
No. This is different. I don't care about that DC shit.
No, I know what you're saying. They already released the extended version of it.
Of what? They have?
Yes, Nick.
Of Zemo dancing?
Yeah. Yes, Nick.
It's been released?
No, Nick, it hasn't.
I hate you. That's what I was saying. Hashtag release the Zemo cut. That's all we're asking. We don't want a movie. We want them to release the rest of the footage of Zemo played by Daniel Bruhl dancing, which is about 5 minutes long. That's all. I think it'll be funny. It's not a real hashtag. Don't threaten anyone. It's just, why not? Please give me that. I'm not going to threaten you over a longer version of the episode. Just give me a special feature. Here is the 4-minute dance. Yeah. Special feature on Disney Plus.
Who it would be? I swear, I ever get to make a movie, a show, documentary, anything, I ever get to put something in front of the screen for you guys besides podcasts, which I do often include the outtakes in some of the podcasts as the opener, as the cold open, but the blooper reel, it's not utilized enough by Disney.
Anymore.
It's not
anyone. No one uses as much.
I can't really think.
I remember watching the Rush Hour movies and getting a giant blooper reel during the credits and being like, "This is great."
Yeah,
no one does that anymore. Even the best series are like, here's a minute and 30 seconds for all 8 seasons of The Office or Community.
Like, Kevin Smith's old DVDs used to have like 5, 6, 7 minutes of outtakes. I am going to give you guys at least 15 solid minutes of outtakes.
Like the time I shot up Times Square.
Yeah, that time. That was a great outtake.
It's a good memory.
Yeah.
It's a good, like,
Terrible.
I wish that didn't happen kind of thing. But it did.
Oh, Nick just has terrible timing sometimes.
And taste. I was saying timing, taste, and tits. Those are the 3 T's. I'm terrible all of them.
The taste. I'm all for the inappropriate and crude humor. But timing is everything, Nick, and it's about time for us to wrap this up. And I cannot believe that we spent that much time talking about Ghostbusters, and I've only been seen from like the head up because
your camera's pretty low. I was just thinking right now.
I've been relaxing in my
I got my little like tiny setup. It's like I can at least put the gloves and a poster up here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna take a picture of a fake background from my apartment and put it behind me. Like, so all my geek stuff is over there over there.
Get a green sheet here. Get a green sheet and use the background stuff that people are always
just put it over my couch and it would work.
Yeah.
Just all it has to do is erase the couch. Nothing in the background appears.
Man. I actually got something new. I got that Grogu there, giant stuffed. See it?
I love Grogu.
Yeah. And then I can't.
He's my fucking bitch.
It's kind of hard to see it, but I guess I'll move the camera a little bit. My Halloween Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter. It's dope. And there's a dog too. Yes, the Nightmare Before Christmas Keyblade. It's dope.
Yes. And my Kingdom Key. Anyways, guys. Yeah, Nick. Appreciate you being on today. I had a plan. It was definitely still a very wild.
It's a good plan.
Ride Wednesday. Hey, it's always
wild card.
Always good for me to talk Sony. I can talk about my hatred for.
Well, consider it. Anytime you want to do
Sony.
it with me, it's like a therapist session. I'll be like, "Why do you hate them so much?"
Let's.
I'm here for you.
Where should we begin? It all started with Spider-Man.
Because I can help you finish.
Oh man. You know what? I already have somebody that can do that for me. So I'll take a rain check, Nick. But I appreciate the offer. There you go. Nick, tell the good people about some stuff that you do besides LRMornings.
I am writing several articles a week on Breaking Radio, the podcast. I'm at Geeky Nick Doll on Twitter, and I also do Breaking Radio, the podcast. It's a co-host. Co-creator, not a co-host. And then I do Marvel Multiverse Mondays with Kyle here, and we talk Falcon and the Winter Soldier until it's fucking Loki time, basically.
Yeah, which looks really, really good.
Oh my god, that trailer's so good. I wish we discussed it, but whatever.
It was a few days ago, and had to talk about it a little bit with Christine.
One more time. Sure. I miss one of my normal sign-off features.
What's that?
And that's hashtag.
Oh god.
Release the Zemo cut. Just give us the dance.
Make sure you guys are checking out LRMonline.com every day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Check out the YouTube channel for grade A celebrity interviews all day, every day. It seems like we've got 4 or 5 different things going up. And sometimes bottlenecks the YouTube traffic for uploads where I'm like, okay, yeah, Gig, Manny, Nancy, we appreciate it. got it. You had to talk to Deborah Snyder about the Snyder Justice League. But I got to upload, Anime Versal on YouTube. So hurry up now. Check it out. Subscribe. Hit the bell so you can be notified when all the great interviews as well as all the great podcasts, shows, videos go up. And of course, subscribe to the podcast network wherever you guys get your podcasts from. I can be found at that Kyle Malone on Twitter and at that one Kyle Malone on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will be live tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Manny has requested that we start a little earlier.
Too early.
Nick is going to one day join the rest of humanity on a
Not
normal
with all your,
circadian rhythm.
Eastern time. Not with all the Eastern time. If you were Colorado time, I consider it.
That would only be 7:30 for you, Nick. That's not bad.
It's like a nightmare. It never ends.
Yeah, I woke up way
earlier
than that for 17 years. You could do it for me. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow live 9:30. Bye.